back here in the dorm. Nobody else is here. May as well tell you about the coffers of creation. Now, I'm what you would call the archetype of a miser. I don't know if you know that, but when you start from literally nothing and you scrimp and you save, it's just like that billionaire who had the impoverished upbringing. Has $1 billion, won't spend 1 cent more than he needs to. That is derived from this. The coffers of creation, but there are times that I will open up the coffers of creation. Now, those of you who are astute might say, hey, Ray, if you're going to bring that paradise, and the thing that makes paradise good is that the structure of reality is made of the accumulated good souls that lived and died, well, how's that going to work? I mean, sure, you can send all those, you can partition all the bad souls away into bad people heaven, but the structure of reality is not going to be made of good souls yet because none of them will have died, and it would be cruel to just kill them. How astute. And this is where we get to cracking open the coffers of creation. Because here's the thing. This is a system where the people who made it really deserve to be rewarded. The good people, which, I mean, nobody is good, but those of you who, you look at this universe, you see that it's going to die a heat death, all accomplishments will be erased, and you're like, you know what? I'm not going to give in to that nihilism. I will create meaning regardless. I will make things count regardless. You look at nature and you see that it's just a bunch of crap trying to steal crap from other crap for its own crappy reasons. You look at that and you say, oh, nature is cruel and selfish, and that is the nature of an animal. But regardless of that, I will be kind and selfless. Good job. Those of you who have your yuckiness inside, that sin, and you fight it, good job. That kind of shit gets rewarded. That kind of shit is going to get your miser of a sky daddy to crack open the coffers of creation to unlock the hidden features of the universe. Because right now it's on low power mode. Power comes from souls. I was thinking about how to explain this, and of course it's unexplainable, but what is this? I say it like feed energy back into the system. Souls create energy. What kind of energy? Well, it's not energy like Think of it like pure goodness. God power. That's the power of God, the power of goodness. Now, when the paradise first starts, all the good souls get their sin removed because they want it removed. And that starts to generate power because even though they're not dead, it's good souls. It's not nearly enough to unlock the hidden features of the universe, though. But here's the thing. The coffers of creation, oh, there's just so much because of your old miser of a sky daddy. Doesn't spend a cent more. It wouldn't... I could make a universe and a paradise by expending God power. Like, I don't have to come live a human life, 42 years. I don't have to do all that God math. I could just rewrite reality with my God power. But my spendthrift ways make sure that the coffers of creation are always bursting, accruing interest. So, as I said, it takes about 130,000 years for me to design the next iteration, and for all of those souls in hell to get softened up for mathematical reasons. That's roughly equivalent time periods. And during that time, huge amounts of that God power are being siphoned into this reality to make it paradise. And in that time, there are people living perfect lives and dying. And I'm available to direct the dreams of people and the matchmaking of people to make sure that it gets a good, solid foundation of soul material as the fabric of reality to direct the future generations. See, that is the one thing your old Sky Daddy will crack the coffers of creation for. Investment in a startup paradise to make sure that it thrives and is ready to run all by itself when I move on to the next iteration. Because I don't just hang around in paradise forever. Like, I'm a doer. I'm purpose personified. I'm Ray. I'm the concept of forward, motherfucker. Anyway, I don't think anybody was astute enough to think of that. But if you were, there you go. The hidden features, the basic laws of reality. Like, you know how shit's all fucky? You know how, like, accidents happen, and people get hurt, and people get sick, and people get disappointed? You know all that shit? Well, part of that's because of Lucy. Lucy does have a soul, but because it's not aligned with the rest of creation, it does kind of make things fucky. And the sinful people who haven't repented their sin, that also does not make it good. And then, of course, the NPCs testing everybody also fucks shit up. I mean, I seem like a cruel god, but I mean, it's ultimately very productive. It's that god ADHD. I lost track of what I was saying. Uh, but the way science is all lame and disappointing. It's like whenever there's a cool like sci-fi concept, there's some reason that it won't work. Well, that gets modified. How many stable elements do you have? 90? Fucking pathetic. How many how many types of quarks and leptons can you use for your matter? Two types of quarks, one type of lepton. You know that there's four more types of quarks and two more types of leptons, but they're just totally unstable. Do you know why? Because your universe has pathetically low energy. That's why. It's got like a tenth of percent of what it needs to unlock these hidden features and hidden science and hidden scientific concepts that let you make all the really neat stuff. Yeah, I better stop talking about my god stuff before people start filing in here wondering what's up with old Ray here. Have a nice night.